Can Bitcoin make it all the way up over 500% above that $100,000 level? In today's video, I'm going to give you my price prediction for Bitcoin in 2023. Make sure you're watching until the end of the video as I'll tell you what I think Bitcoin can do in 2023, where the overall trend is, and how much potential there truly is in Bitcoin in this next bull run. Make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and tap the notification bell to stay tuned with all of my crypto trading videos. Make sure to check out my trading masterclass that's currently 50% off in this video description and pinned comment section. I teach you everything that I know to become a consistently long-term profitable trader in the markets, in stocks, forex, crypto, commodities, forex, doesn't matter what you want to trade, I'll teach you exactly the price action trading tools that you need to know. So let's begin the video looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. I'm looking at the Coinbase chart, so you can see I can scroll out and see that Bitcoin was actually created back in this 2011, 2012 region, but we don't have access to that on this Coinbase chart. The first thing that I want to do is just look at how big from this low in this region here. This was one of the big bull runs. You can see that we actually went up 28,000% to the upside. Now let's actually measure the next bull run from this low here all the way to the top. You can see we basically went up 2,000%. So you can see we went from 28,000% basically up to down to 2,100%. Now let's look into the future. Let's look at somewhere like 500%. 500% to the upside would actually basically push us to this $100,000 region. The main thing that I basically want you to focus on right now is you can see that every single bull run is basically getting smaller and smaller. We had 28,000%. Now we have 2,100%. And in this next bull run, I do believe we will push to around that $100,000 level. And again, that is about a 4x decline, 25% of that overall of the last bull run, making that 500% to the upside. So overall, we still have around a 300% push to the upside, 250% from our current prices. So still a lot of potential in Bitcoin and a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Obviously, a lot more potential than there is in a lot of these stocks and commodities currently. So overall, a lot of potential. And I just want to show you the overall scope of what's actually been happening in this long-term uptrend. Now, the next thing I want to do is actually scroll in and look at the current price and determine, can we actually buy in the market? Which way is the market currently trending? Now that we've scrolled into the price, this is on the weekly time frame. I really like scrolling out to the weekly time frame and actually using this orange line, which is the 20 exponential moving average, basically known as the medium-term average price on the chart. You can see down all through this area, we did have a big bear region, but when we scroll in now to this latest price region, you can see that what's actually happened, we've flipped. We've now allowed this exponential moving average to point to the upside, and I'm only allowed to trade in the direction of the slope of the exponential moving average. When we scroll out and we look at all through this region here, all through here, I was only trading to the downside because the weekly direction was pointing to the downside. And I'm looking for trades between the short term and medium term exponential moving average. This is known as the value zone. And this is where I'm looking for trades to the downside in this area here. But now that we've actually flipped and we've began making pushes to the upside, so we've now got a flipped value zone, where we've got the 20 exponential moving average here, we've got the short-term moving average through here, and all right through here is actually known as the value zone. So you can see what actually happened when we finally did get a push above this 20 exponential moving average, all through this region here, right here, we're in the value zone, people have been buying. We then came back into the value zone in here, people were then buying. We then just poked into the value zone right now, and there's already been buys. We might have some lower prices coming in into the next week or two, basically moving sideways, but all I can expect is looking to the left, we've got an upwards trend in this exponential moving average. Every time we've come to this average price, people have been buying and buying. If I look to the left and that's what's been happening, I can only expect that, especially right now. So the overall trend in the market is pointing to the upside, and the best time to get in is when we come back to the average price. And that's why I've looked to get into longs to the upside, especially on Bitcoin. So now that we know the overall trend is pointing to the upside for Bitcoin, so we know now we can actually be entering in the market and looking for longs. The best part is we've come into the value zone, so really not a bad idea to actually be looking for entries right now. This is obviously not financial advice. This is just something that I'm teaching in my trading course, and obviously I'm just publishing these YouTube videos for free, basically for entertainment. But we've come back to the average price, so we've got that perfect entry, we've got the upslope to the upside, so it's telling us right now we can get into the market, we're back at the average price, and the overall market is trending to the upside. So the next thing that we want to do is look for some potential areas that we might have some stalls, or some potential areas that we want to look to actually potentially get out in the market, or some potential price targets that we can look at and say, okay, when we reach this price, we're going to sell 15% off, 20% off, 25% off. So we can actually put a strategy into the market and say, once we reach here, we're going to act like a computer, and like a computer would. We're not going to act emotionally. We're just going to say, once we reach these different price targets, we're going to get out of the market. The first thing I want to point out in the market right through here is we had an overall support line right through this session here. You can see the price was supporting in this region and just slightly also in this region here. And what happened through here? We actually got a breakout to the downside. Look what happened. We retested this area right through here as a resistance zone, had a big push to the downside. So this is the first level that you can see would be an overall level in the market. And that's basically what we're actually touching right now in the market. You can see we've had some rejection up here. Current price had a bit of a rejection. We're now coming back into the value zone, potentially coming back up. There might be at least a small amount of rejection before we then look for more continuation to the upside. So overall, we're already at one of our first points of interest right now on the Bitcoin chart. So overall, right through here, having that support to resistance flip, you always need to look out for that, because they're very, very, very prominent in the market, and they're very, very significant because price definitely holds them in this area here. So that's one of the first things that I want to point out. We're already at one of these levels, because if we look at the low and actually project it to this high through here, that was already a double in price. So if you bought at those levels, you already got a double in price at this current price point. The next thing that I want to do is actually use the Fibonacci retracement tool, come up to this all-time high region through here, then bring it down to this low that actually happened in late 2022. Then you can see we've got population in price. We've got the 0382, which actually perfectly correlates with this support to resistance flip. So that actually might be one of the more perfect levels to actually look at this $36,000 region. Could be one of the first levels that we've got actual full confluence. We've got confluence on this support to resistance flip. We've also got confluence from this Fibonacci retracement level, because there will be traders in the market actually looking to sell at this level. They would look to buy once we've got a breakout above this 20 EMA. This would be one of the actual areas that they're even potentially looking to sell half of their position off. They've already made 100, 200% on their position. So over, we need to be looking at that. The next area is this 0.5 level. The next area is this 0.618 level. There's definitely some confluence with both of them in the market. You can see definitely having some resistance in this area initially, some type of support, but overall not a perfect support to resistance flip. But you will see a lot of traders in the market even coming back in at this 50% level, because this is 50% from the high to the low. People are looking to sell somewhere in this region here. They will try and get out at least a portion of their position. But overall, even if we even just treat this as a trading range, you want to be looking to buy in this bottom 25%, looking to sell in this top 25%. So right now we're just pushing above this top 20, bottom 25%, looking to push above to this top 25%. The last thing that I want to actually do is actually scroll out, so we can actually use the Fibonacci extension tool. So this trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. First thing I want to do is actually look at this last high. So go from this bottom that actually happened all the way to this high, and then bring it down to this low that actually happened in price. So you can see that we've got some levels in the market. We've got this 0.618, we've got this 0.61, we've got this 1618 level, which is the golden zone. We've got the 2618 level. We've got the 3618 level. So you can see in the market, we're actually basically between this 3618 and 2618 level in the market, breaking above to this 1618. So now let's actually do that exact same thing, but for this current high. So we go from this low through here, bring it all the way to this all-time high, then bring it down to this low in this region here. One of the areas that I'd be personally looking at is this 1618 level. You can see last time in price, we actually pushed into this region here between this 3618 in this 2618 region, which should actually be $250,000 to $180,000 region. I don't believe we will get that high. That's why I actually pointed that out earlier to show you that every single high that we're actually making lower highs in terms of percentage wise. Before we made a 28,000% high, the next high was a 2,000% high. I do believe this high will be somewhere around potentially around that 500%. So one of my last targets would actually be overall bull trend finishing at this 1618 level, which is $120,000 to $130,000 per Bitcoin. So if we look at this all-time low all the way up, that's around 700% gain. So pretty close to my 200%. Even from our current price point, it's around a 350% gain. So that would be my last target on Bitcoin in this overall market. Still some massive gains, especially if you can even potentially buy into Ethereum instead of Bitcoin and actually stake it using APY, getting 3 to 4% APY. Then you're getting a doubling in Ethereum, you're basically earning 8%. Then you get a quadruple, you're basically earning 24%. So a really smart way to actually earn income on top of actually getting really big gains in the market. So really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe, and tap the notification bell to continue watching these trading videos. Make sure to check out my trading masterclass that's 50% off. And if you'd like to continue watching my YouTube videos, click the video that's on the screen right now.